Cool. I guess we'll just start diving right in here. Yeah, I don't really have too much to intro with, other than maybe post show when I start editing. I'll do some
Welcome
cool
to the Rich
effects.
Dickman Show.
Yeah. Do a cool intro, and then I'll make a sound, and then that'll be the intro.
All right, let me find the Thought Cops intro, and I'm just gonna do it. But change the words.
Perfect. We just wing it.
Because I don't have that completely memorized. That's sort of Kevin's thing, but
that's fine.
I can still do an.
Actually, where's my other? This fucking.
All right.
Stole my mouse.
Fuck it. Welcome to the Rich Dickman Show, the only podcast where every week we're Rich Dickman, the show of the internet, because hey, somebody's got to do the show, and then we let you be the rich and the dick and the man in the court of the podcasting community, coming to you live from I'm Officer Grant, and with me,
am I supposed
and that's
to
where
say
you
something?
say your that's where you say
and
your name.
This is Ray. Hey.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
And then here's the cool like guitar sound,
Yeah.
and then bam, we're in.
All right.
So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Listen to this would be CoronaCast number 4, I believe. I'm pretty sure that I already miscounted once. So, and I already told.
Are you
Ren.
going to do 19 of these?
We'll see. I already told him. Like, I thought the third one was the second one. So I'm already like, I didn't even get to like running out of fingers and toes to not be able to keep track. Like, it's pretty sad. So if we get past like 10, like I'm shit out of luck. So I think
that even if this ends soon, that you should just go for 19 anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good
fuck
goal.
it, whatever.
It's right on the. It's par for the course. Yeah. So we got here with us tonight. It's Grant Mooney from the Thought Cops. Grant, how are you?
Yes. Hello. I am. I'm teetering on the brink of insanity, but whomst amongst us isn't. So.
Yeah. Well, what's causing your insanity?
Fuck. I don't have a job. And I have nothing to do, and there's very little that's keeping me from just delving into a complete alcoholic stupor in which I completely lose my sense of self and my identity. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just barely clinging on, just doing what I can to retain the pieces of me that dwell within my consciousness the best that I can.
Yeah. So you said
and it's an uphill battle.
Oh, dude, everything is right now. Everything is fucked up. Like, no one knows what to do. But I want to go back a little bit here. So you were saying that you don't have a job, and that's coronavirus related directly, right?
Absolutely, yep.
So what were you doing? Didn't you work at a gym or something like that? Your personal trainer?
Yeah, I'm a personal trainer when I pretend to be, and when I'm not, I'm not. But, I've been trying to... I finally got that sweet... unemployment debit card that the state finally sent me. So okay. I got some neat bucks in some account that's run by someone. And, so I got that going. I've been doing some online sort of like personal training type stuff. Because everyone right now doesn't have access to a gym or, everyone's just doing at-home workouts and stuff like that. So I've been doing like a series of videos on my YouTube channel that I just started up like a week ago. Just go almost sort of like lectures, just because it's like I can't even demonstrate half the stuff that I'm talking about. So it's just like I'm just talking about fitness, but I've been putting like a link to my Venmo account underneath, for people to like, hey, if you got something out of this, chip me a couple dollars because I'm unemployed and blah, blah, blah. So it's been keeping the boat afloat. So
well, that's good. It's nice. Yeah. And that's my thing is this, let's help the people that need the help. Not everyone has stopped working. My business, right. I'm actually working more than I probably ever have, because in the office we have less people. Therefore, I have to pick up the slack. And we're talking first world problems. I'm not complaining. I'm saying it is what it is.
It's affecting everyone, in a different sort of way right now. It's a very weird time to be going through.
Well, so I got a guy that works for me, and this guy makes a lot of money. I won't even get it. I mean, he makes a lot of money, and he's still working full time. There's no sign of us having any sort of actual slow period. And he comes in and he goes, "Hey, so I got the bank to freeze my mortgage, for 6 months, that whole thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're working. Like, you don't need to." Like, can't we do that stuff for the people that need it, not the people? Yeah. Like, Grant, if you're not working and you're trying to survive off either whatever the government's giving and, donations from people and things like that for you offering what services you can, let's help those people. The guys that are working full time, don't send them a check. It's just a waste. You're just throwing money away. Like, those guys, I would like a check for $2,000 or whatever it ends up being, but do I need it if I'm still working? I shouldn't. So
there's always like a weird one size fits all policy with like any governmental intervention of any sort, and it's like for some things, that's understandable. For other things, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm smart enough to even speak on that, but
Well, that's the thing. Like, getting into the minutia of that, like, we're not that educated. I don't know about you. I won't speak for you, but
I try my best to keep up with things. But I mean, if you really grill me on shit, it's just going to be like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. You just keep asking questions. Why, and it's like, I don't fucking know, because I think something in my gut, and that's just the best I can do.
Yeah, which works, because I think many of the people in Washington, they probably don't even know as much as you do.
Probably.
Not even naming it, just saying all of them. They're probably like
those fucking clowns, all in that giant clown car. Those clowns up on Capitol Hill, unbelievable.
None of them know anything.
Well, so what are they doing? They just choose to act like fucking idiots because they can get away with it. So
I want to go to. I find it fascinating that the way that coronavirus has affected you, because being a personal trainer, obviously you need to, I mean, I guess technically you can do some stuff digitally, but you more or less need to actually be there with somebody. So, like, when I walk through the grocery store and there's only like 3 people in the store at 10 o'clock at night, we're already doing this awkward dance of like, do I need to avoid you? Do you need to avoid me? Like, who's going which way and all this stuff, as if we get within 2 feet of each other and we're both going to explode. It's just super awkward when it's like, well, I think that generally speaking, the two of us wouldn't be out here if we were really sick. Like, if I knew that I had coronavirus, I'd stay home, and I would hope that everyone else would. But that being the case, because if everyone's already awkward, you specifically would have to more or less be near people. Are there actually still people that have offered or would like to utilize your services?
Currently, no. I mean, it's weird because it's not just commercial gyms and whatnot that are shut down. It's like gyms in people's apartment buildings and stuff like that. Like, just everything's shut down. And on top of that, it's not just me that's sort of out of work. It's like a lot of people are out of work. So I'm not really useful in that sense right now. There are some people that maybe make a living off of just pure online training. They have like 20 online clients and they charge however much, and they just make ends meet that way. Yeah. I've always wanted to sort of build a model where that can sort of supplement, my in-person training, which now is a good time to sort of focus on a lot of that. But a lot of that's not happening right now. So I'm sort of focusing a little bit more on, building some form of an online presence through Instagram and YouTube, and hoping that, if that reaches enough people that by the time things start opening back up, that I have some, some extra side clients that I can do in person, or some online clients or whatnot. If my job hires me back, I'll take it. I'm not happy with a lot of circumstances regarding anything revolving around that job, but it's a good like stepping stone to working on my own.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is that your goal? Is to like, I guess not work for anybody else, work for yourself? Yeah. Well, I like that. You know what? Please don't take offense to this, but we've had a number of porn stars come on, and the way that you describe that is there are a lot of parallels with how they describe what they do.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Have you ever considered an OnlyFans?
I have not. I've had actually within the past week or so, a lot of people suggest that to me, which is
for real?
Strange. Yeah. I mean, probably in a joking way, but there's always
exactly
people. I'm not going to name names,
well,
but yeah,
you know what I'm
people.
saying. You can tell by the audience. Like if it's like some creepy looking dudes, then you're like, whoa, this is weird. But if they're like some sexy ladies, then I'm like, if that was happening to me, I might consider it. Just saying, right?
That's a mixed
bag. Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
No, that's it.
So I forgot to do this at the beginning, but wanted to let everyone know that Rem is not here tonight. We've already established that by he wouldn't be this quiet this long. But he is missing tonight because he's on a top secret mission, if you want to call it that, with Mr. Dickman himself. They're actually designing a space station to house the non-infected people, so that if and when this blows up, they'll have some people that can repopulate the Earth here. So that's what they're doing. Because I'm contractually obligated by the new terms of my agreement or contract that just went through, I have to, and I put this in quotes, host at least one bonus show. That's part of the contract there. But I still hold the title of co-host, but definitely not main host. So we just want to get that out, make sure that's clear.
I always say that regarding Thought Cops, and it's very much so like a 50-50 partnership split between me and Kevin, but I'm always like, no, you're like the host. You're the one that does the introduction and all the formalities and stuff like that. I kind of like the idea of being like the side guy that just sort of sits in the corner and just like cracks jokes and shit like that, and that's not like what it always happens, but that's, it's, you got that like Opie and Anthony dynamic, and it's like everyone's like, yeah, I want to be Anthony. I don't want to be Opie, but somebody's got to be Opie.
Exactly.
Not saying that Kevin's Opie, because Opie's fucking stupid as shit, but like, nonetheless, like there's something cool about being that second mic position that I always sort of aspired to.
Well, yeah, then you don't have to carry the show. You can just chime in, and then if the show goes to shit, you can just be like, well, I'm not the host.
Yeah, just scream about TikTok, and when things fall off a track, just have somebody else bring it back in.
There you go. I love it. Well, so we have had you on the podcast before. I believe it was episode 73 called Pig Sauce.
Right.
And at that time, you were training for a marathon. How did that go? Did you actually go through with that?
Yeah. Was it
nice?
That must have been, I'm assuming, before the marathon. If I was talking about it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got like 4 hours and 41 minutes, which was not my goal, but you hit mile 20 and you just sort of hit the fucking wall.
Dude, yeah. Yep.
Because I'm not like a runner, and I think I'm too big and I'm too large to be a runner. But I was on track for like a 9:20 pace.
Nice.
For 20 miles. I was running 9 minute 20 miles, which for me was like amazing. And then I hit 20. And it dropped down to like 15-minute miles for the last 6. So,
well, congratulations completing it, because like that is no easy task. That's actually one of the things I want to do this year. The longest I've done was 20 miles, and actually I went to the hospital afterwards because I was dehydrated. So when you said you hit a wall at 20, mine was about mile like 15, like 18. And after that I was like, fuck, I got to walk because this is bad. Like I'm not feeling good. And I finished, but after that went and got an IV, stayed in the hospital for like 2 hours or hour or something like that. But
I actually, in lieu of signing up for this year's Chicago Marathon, which I didn't get included in the what's it called for it, in the lottery for it.
Okay.
I signed up for actually a 50K that was supposed to be, what day is today? It was supposed to be 3 days ago, and obviously it got canceled, but that's 31 miles, and I'm kind of glad that it got called off because I got real bad tendonitis in my knees.
Oh, yeah, that's
not
good. Well, like I said, I got to 20 and I went to the hospital. So you making 26, I just got mad respect for that. I'll never talk down to you ever again. I'll never have anything disparaging to say about you.
I do what I can to, get the accolades that I want. So.
Yeah. So the other thing, I just wanted to bring this up. I absolutely love seeing what you post on Twitter, just in general.
Thank you.
Because it's satirical and even maybe like satire on top of satire at times.
Yeah. We, we at Thought Cops call that irony poisoning syndrome, which is just like, I don't even know what the joke is anymore. And the satire almost isn't even outwards at the world. It's more sort of like inwards at the fact that this stuff bothers me so fucking much.
Yes.
Like, just the state of like politics right now. And, you know, I don't know if you're familiar at all with the show Chapo Trap House. I sort of dip in and out of it every once in a while, but one of the hosts, Matt Chrisman, had some quote that I really liked about like the idea of you caring at all about politics is in and of itself some form of like a mental illness, because you think that you and like your ego, that you know the correct path forward for the entirety of all of civilization. And so caring about it a little makes you inherently sort of fucked up. And that's kind of how I feel regarding some of this shit. Like, you look at what's happening with like the Joe Biden rape allegations right now, and how some of the people that were sort of slamming Brett Kavanaugh for, you know, his allegations, some of those people that were slamming him are working on Joe Biden's campaign and are like deleting tweets about Brett Kavanaugh right now. And it's just like, you want to scream, but you're screaming into a complete void, because it's like you're never going to get fucking heard. And the best thing that I've sort of found that gives me any level of catharsis is just to sort of take all of that, you know, all of that anger and, you know, sort of turn it inwards on myself and display that for everyone to see, because it is just like, there's nothing you can fucking do or say, and it's never going to make it across, you know? So, you know.
Yeah. No,
maybe somebody will find it funny that I'm, you know, so sort of self-hatred to myself, you know.
Well, I love it. It cracks me up, because you'll use some of the common hot verbiage terms and things like that everyone wants to say, that it's the cool thing to say, so everyone's doing it. Every freaking person. And it's, to me, I'm like, shut up. You're not original. Stop saying the same damn stuff.
Right.
So stop doing that and stop pretending like everyone has all the answers, like as if somehow you do. But maybe be practical about stuff.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like the coronavirus. I go into the grocery store and they all of a sudden have plexiglass between, you know, on the counter, dividing me and the cashier. And I go, okay, well, let's see how this works out. So I hand them my basket, which these people are, the cashier's not wearing gloves, not using hand sanitizer. And now I didn't ask them, and find out, do you have that and you're not using it? Are you unable to procure that? I don't know. But nothing actually changed. I still exchanged everything the same way. The receipt, they handled all the food, and I didn't sneeze on them, just like, you know, without the plexiglass, right?
You usually don't, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, so what actually changed? What's the point of this plexiglass? Like, where's the logic in this, but not having them wear gloves every time they touch somebody's stuff, or using hand sanitizer, or whatever? Like there's so many other things where the X's marking every spot. I'm like, everyone's standing in the same spot, leaning up against the same counter, but you're not wiping down the counter, so you're actually concentrating all of it right there, if anything. Yes, the distancing helps. I understand that, but like no one's logical about the stuff, and so I'm sitting here thinking, am I crazy? Like, so I don't know. I almost want to just keep my mouth shut on everything. But so that's why I find it fantastic following you on Twitter, and just, you know, seeing the perspective that you put on things.
Thank you.
So yeah,
I also try and not take it too fucking seriously too, you know, obviously, but I think, just one of my favorite sort of juxtapositions as of late is taking a very serious topic that a lot of people care about, like healthcare, for instance, and then like pairing that with something like a video game or just something that's inherently childish, you know, I think like the Hard Drive magazine does this really well, where it's just like, America collectively presses B to keep the country from evolving. And it's like, I'd love that type of shit, because it just gets to the heart of like, the shit's so fucking, it's so fucked up that one of the only ways to get through is just to throw the controller on the fucking ground and turn the system off and walk away. Because there's no, there's no fucking recourse for most people that have like genuine frustrations regarding just the insanity of sort of some of these systems that we fucking built up. And I don't know.
Well, like, and you're right too, like, people, there's only so much we can do. We can't control. Right. There's only so much I can do for coronavirus specifically and government specifically. Like, I can vote, but me posting on Twitter, here's what everyone should do. Like, it's not like whoever it is, the president's going to read it and go, you know what, Ray, he's got some good points. I think I'm going to change my stance on it. Like, what do people think is going to happen, right? So,
that's my favorite thing is people that respond to Trump on Twitter.
Yes, like, as if he's reading it and like, let me take notes.
Yeah, and there is some sort of ironic, I've done this once or twice where I've responded to him to be like, excuse me, please step down, sir. But like, obviously, yeah, he's not going to fucking read that. Like, and say, I'm doing that as a joke to make fun of the fucking people that think that, oh, maybe he will read that, because they're fucking out there, and it's like the same people that respond to him every day. I think there were two brothers or something like that got kicked off of Twitter for doing that. The Clipsteins, I can't even remember their names.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, so because of your sense of humor and you saying stuff like that, for example, step down, whatever it is, do you end up getting a lot of people that end up attacking you, or especially like DMing you and trying to like change your mind, if you will?
I don't know if I've gotten. I don't think I've gotten like DMs or anything like that. Usually it's you'll get maybe not even as often as I would like, which sometimes I would like more sort of a pushback. And maybe it's just because I don't have as many followers. I think I have like 1,300 followers.
Yeah, it's because you have a super strong argument. It's impenetrable.
Yeah, probably. Just destroying them with facts and logic. But I don't get too much pushback. And when I do, usually my recourse is just to make the argument more and more ridiculous, to sort of point out the fact that, you've got fucking egg on your face for thinking that,
oh yeah,
I don't know. I'm thinking about, there was this one, it was called like MythCon, and it's up in Milwaukee, and it's like what all of the, it's a convention for like amazing libertarians.
Okay.
Like, I think like Sargon of Akkad and Shoe on Head and like all these fucking people like do this, centristy weird like YouTuber politics convention up in Milwaukee, and I made some joke comment about it. I might have tagged MythCon in it and said something about blah blah blah, if I'm open to too many ideas, like my brain might sort of fall out of my head or something like that. And this guy like really started going after me and like looked through some of my tweets and was like joking about me doing stand-up and whatever, and he's like, oh, that's a great tight five you got there, must work really well at a laundromat. And I was like, no joke, that's a really good idea, is to do like a stand-up video at a laundromat. So we've been sort of kicking that idea for a video around for a while, and it's just like, if I don't care that much, if I'm making like a mild criticism of you shoving your head too far up your ass, like, you shoving your head further up your ass proves my point moreover, and I don't really have to do anything. You just sort of set the rake on the ground and let them walk into it. Oh,
absolutely.
And they always do.
Well, if coronavirus has taught me anything, it's how broken people are. With everyone saying like we're literally like a week into, shelter in place, and people are like, I can't pay anything, I have no money. I'm like, what? It's a week. Now I get it. Some people have circumstances where they're living paycheck to paycheck, but I see this all the time. Look in anyone's garage. What the fuck is in the garage? Shit. Not cars. Shit. Just piles of whatever it is, and cabinets full of just junk. So don't come to me saying you can't afford rent or your mortgage or whatever it is after a week, like one fucking week. So you just see this all over the place,
because, right? The timing for it's weird because it's like April 1st is when rent and bills and payments and everything are due. At the very least, I think they put a hold to the college loan payments and stuff like that. But yeah, for a lot of people, I think it's like 40% of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck, or maybe it's higher than that. Like, yeah, shit's fucked for most people. And yeah, I think the economy's broken. I think that people's sense of like money is broken. I think money in general is just sort of like a fucky concept that people don't fully, understand.
No, absolutely.
Not
at all. If you really want to dive into it, and I'm not saying we need to, but just
right.
If you really think about it, in America, we overspend on so many things. We live at our means or beyond them, as opposed to saying, you know what? Maybe I should save a little bit of money. Like, it's just how it is. That's just America. And I'm not saying I'm any better than anyone else. Like, I got tons of shit that I don't need. Like, just gobs of stuff I don't need. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and complain if all of a sudden in a month I don't have any money. Like, I'm just saying, like, no, everyone's saying, like, I can't afford anything after one. Like, I literally have no money after 1 week. It's like, wait, most circumstances, it's like, no, that's on you. Just saying, like, you got the latest smartphone and the latest whatever it is, like all that stuff. You don't need it. Yes, it's very helpful. I get it, but but it just goes to show that people are crazy. Like you can do a small little thing, like take away one paycheck. I get it. If it ends up being longer, that's a whole nother story. But you take away one paycheck, or you make a comment to someone about something, they're so invested in whatever it is that people are broken. It is fascinating how crazy people can twist in, I don't know, flip of a switch, really.
Right.
I don't know. I just find it fascinating. I don't really have anywhere else to go with that, but
I mean, there's, I think people in other countries sort of also, I think America seems to be the focus of most people's, criticisms. It's sort of like when you talk about McDonald's and you're like, oh, McDonald's, it's the premier, like, worst fast food place. They have the pink slime, and there's that Super Size Me movie, and for years and years people were bashing McDonald's, and it's like, wait, every fast food restaurant does the same exact shit. Like, we're just making an example of the biggest one.
Yeah.
And I think America gets that treatment because a lot of European countries and stuff like that, like, maybe have a broader social safety net or whatever compared to us, but at the same time, like, the more people I talk to that live overseas, they're like, yeah, it's not like what you think that it is. It's not fucking utopia out here. It's, a price of living is high for everybody, and just these fucking bankers, these banks. I have to do the banker shtick in a Bill Burr voice because Bill Burr always yells about the fucking bankers. But it really is just like, yeah, who. There's that weird, the split in ideology towards, personal responsibility versus, sort of institutional mayhem.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a little bit of both. I think from the perspective of criticizing structures is a little bit easier because you take into account, like, the entirety of human decision making and stuff like that. And after a while, you're just going to claw your eyes out trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with most people because everybody's fucked up. Yeah.
Well, it's first world problems is what it is. I mean, us saying like, I can't live off after a week. It's like, well, I mean, growing up, I heard this all the time. Like, what about the kids in Africa? I mean, that was the tagline everyone would throw on there, right? But it's true. Like, if you really boiled it all down, we have a great situation here. So the complaints, I mean, half of it is me just being like, you guys are crazy. We will survive this.
A lot of Africa right now doesn't have fucking COVID. So, maybe we're the Africa.
I know. Well, yeah. I know, right? They're probably because they don't have the transportation. I don't know that much about.
I think maybe because they're too, and it depends because there's a lot of fucking African countries, and they're not as homogenous as we like to pretend that they are. But it's probably because a lot of those, like, especially the Central and South African countries are so just, like, torn by malaria. And it seems to be that some people that have some of these diseases, I think, like malaria, and I think I read, my dad sent me something about lupus. Like, if you have a certain disease, like, you just don't get COVID. Like, if you're getting treatment for lupus, like, you just can't get it. And I don't fully know why, and that has to probably be fact checked. But there's some weird shit going on.
That's amazing. Well, so we're going to start kind of winding down here, but I got a good one for you. If this is the end of the world, because, many people are treating it as such, what's your survival plan? Like, if this turns into the true apocalypse, do you have some sort of go-to plan of how to survive?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm 6'4". I weigh about 230 pounds. I got some crude weapons here. Not anything that's, I don't have a gun or anything like that. I'm in the city of Chicago. Mm-hmm. I know the idea is that we all have guns, but the truth is, if I shoot an intruder, I'm also probably shooting my neighbor next door. Yeah. But I have a couple axe handles and a couple baseball bats and stuff like that. And when shit hits the fan, I'm going out with that stuff. I'm gonna make do. So
where are you, like, holing up, or are you trying to get to a certain spot?
I'll probably Shaun of the Dead it.
Okay.
I'll probably just find some sort of adventure or journey that I can take, in order to wait things out or whatever. Going to a place where there's at least some form of food supplies is probably a good idea. Maybe I'll hole myself up at Whole Foods.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. You're 6'4", 230, right? You got some axes and stuff like if it was like a dodgeball game and you're picking teams, like, you'd definitely be one of the top picks there.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, so I would imagine
maybe that wasn't true in elementary school, but I would hope.
It's either that or they'll all come after you. I know a guy that I knew a few years ago. He was 6'4", like, he was a big guy. He was like 330 pounds or something like that. But I remember he said when he was in college, he used to go to a lot of parties. And when one chick decided that, hey, I just got this taser, let me see how it'll work, and pulled it out. He's just standing there, chatting with his buddies. She comes up behind him and just tases the shit out of him.
What the fuck?
And goes, well, I guess it works. But it's like, sometimes you do that. You go for the big guy and you just test him out. So, maybe you got to keep your head on a swivel, Grant.
You got to be smart about things. Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You always have to have a backup plan. I did martial arts for like a number of years, so I know some stuff, but I think one of the more important things that you can learn from it in any sort of sense, no matter what you're doing, and there are some better and worse ones out there, but is one, some form of like bodily awareness, and two, some form of situational awareness, Yeah. And those are things you can sort of, bodily awareness you can practice through just the art of doing sparring and running drills and stuff like that, and you sort of get a sense of like, what's my distance, what's my reach, how hard am I hitting with these types of hit, like, you sort of develop that sense of like, this is what I'm capable of, this is what I'm not capable of, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. And then situational awareness, which is, you can practice it walking down the street and you see someone behind you and you're like, well, if this person were to come up to me like this and do this, what would I do? Or what would I do in this scenario? How do I create distance? How do I, frame my body positioning, against someone who could be an attacker or something like that? And, again, depending on the types of martial arts and stuff that you practice, you do develop a little bit of that. And I think that, that's maybe one of the most important things, because I don't think scenarios ever work out in your head the way that you think that they are. But if you can sort of anticipate that, it's important in that sort of way. Maybe it'll save your life. Yeah.
Well, as you're describing that, I just envision kind of like the Matrix, slow motion, camera spinning around you as some guy's like just following you down the sidewalk, and all he's doing is just walking. But you're also, what you're describing to me is basically what's going to happen is if this turns into the zombie apocalypse, there's zero chance of some zombie sneaking up on you in the middle of wide open field and somehow attacking you and biting you, is what I'm gathering.
Right.
Which,
I mean, hopefully.
That's why I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore, because it's a terrible show.
They seem to be pretty resilient, so.
Well, but I would imagine if you have some sort of martial arts training and obviously have some good reach and stuff, like you'd probably be pretty good at fending off zombies. So,
I mean, the thing that I really learned from doing, especially a lot of the sparring and stuff, was that fighting is way harder than you fucking think that it is. Yeah. And I mean, even against like, a conscious, cognizant human being that's maybe less skilled, like, you can hit and hit and hit and hit somebody, and they might still be up, and sure, maybe they're winded and you're winded, but it's like, yeah, it's not, you see some of these videos on World Star or whatever where someone just walks up, hits a person, they black out, their head hits the concrete, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, that can happen, and, best case scenario / worst case scenario, because you don't want to kill somebody over a bar fight. But at the same time, that doesn't happen for everybody, especially if you don't have any sort of training or anything like that. Even with the training, it's difficult. It's you wind out after about 10 seconds, like not just from the activity, but a lot of times just from your adrenaline and whatever. Like your heart starts pumping really fast and your breathing picks up. And all of a sudden, it's just like you're 10 seconds in, you throw 2 punches, and you're just like, I can't fucking move anymore. Like so that's something to sort of fight around, fight against.
And that coming from someone who ran a marathon, so it's not as if you have zero cardio capabilities and a personal trainer.
And you saw that with the fight with Mayweather and McGregor, which is just like. Mayweather was so much better conditioned than him, towards the end of the fight, McGregor just couldn't breathe anymore. He gassed completely the fuck out because he's never had to fight in those conditions,
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, so if we do end up being in the zombie apocalypse, I'll probably, before the power goes out, shoot you some DMs. We'll try and
shoot me a DM, slide in.
Yes, I will slide into that so we can go kill a boatload of zombies. Oh man,
all the podcasters have to team up.
Yeah, we could do it. There's quite a few that I think would not add too much. They'd be very critical of everything, every decision, and every battle with the zombies, but and not really kill any. But they'd maybe make a tasty treat when we run out of food or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, we can't have wine and crime joining the fight. I don't think that they're going to do too much to help us out.
Yeah, we might, Grant, you and I think we could kill some zombies, but that's what the other people can do. I don't know, tending to the gardens and stuff, something like that.
Right.
We'll make use of them.
Go tend to your gardens.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for a second there. But anyway, so as we're wrapping this one up here, just want to give you the opportunity, Grant, to give a shout out to all your contact information, how we can get a hold of you during this crazy times.
Oh man, well I'll do sort of my personal fitness stuff first, since we were talking about that, and then I'll do like some of the podcast stuff. So it's at GMFitness312 on Instagram. You can follow me there. I've been putting some stuff up to some at-home workouts and whatnot, and some examples of said at-home workouts. I got a couple videos of me lifting weights, which is cool. I added some music to them. At GM Fitness on Instagram. My YouTube channel, I'll honestly just send you the link to my YouTube channel because I have so few subscribers that I can't do a what do you call it, like an individualized URL yet.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I have like 40 people that, for 1 weekend or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, so I'll send you that if you want to toss that up on the website or whatever.
We'll do that,
For everything else, it's at Grant Mooney on Twitter, at Real Thought Cops on Twitter, at Real Thought Cops on Instagram also. thoughtcopspodcast.com or thoughtcops.net. Both work. Patreon.com/thoughtcops. Thoughtcops is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, basically every podcasting app. And yeah, I think that's probably twitch.tv/thoughtcops. Also, we've been doing some video game streaming. So
fun. What games you guys been playing lately?
It's been sort of a mix-up. Both me and Kevin have Nintendo Switches, so whatever's the soyest game that's out there. I've been playing the Mario Odyssey, and lately as I've been doing it, because my computer's sort of slow, I don't always run my camera, so I'll put up a picture of, like, Bernie Sanders and I'll do a Bernie impression for 3 hours, or the next one I think I'm going to do is like Joe Biden, you know, the picture of him in like his basement or whatever. Oh, nice. And just do a Joe Biden impression for 3 hours, pretending that I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going in the game.
I like it. That's fun.
Thank you.
That's fine. We'll plug the show and stuff for you once we get this out. For this show, you can find us on richdickman.com, Twitter at richdickmanshow. Rem is at Rem Dickman. I am at Jules Winfeld. Hit up the voicemail line. We got a lot of stuff that we'd like to hear when you guys call in. That's 860-316-4776. And I'll just leave it there. We updated the website. So we do have a lot more merchandise that you guys can get now. We got, onesies, hoodies, all sorts of stuff, tons of different custom designs and stuff like that, unique designs. Super fun. Stickers, whatever. I mean, there's way more stuff there. So check out the website, click on that link. It'll take you right there. So definitely check that out. I mean, that's pretty much all I've got. Obviously, everyone stay safe, be smart, don't be a fucking idiot and walk around and spread coronavirus to everyone, even if you don't have it. Just be safe. It's just ridiculous that it's continuing to spread at this rate. Like, just stay indoors if you don't have to be outside. And if you guys are gonna start throwing money at anybody, do it to Grant. He's the guy that can actually use it and is not a fucking moron. So
I try not to be, but
do that.
Limits of human stupidity and all that.
Well, and not only that, like, people should be exercising. Just because you're indoors, like, yes, we're all becoming alcoholics, like full-fledged. Certified alcoholics. But in the meantime, you can at least devote like half an hour or an hour a day. I mean, if you got, check out Grant's YouTube, whatever it is, the Instagram, go to that stuff and at least get a little bit of, make yourself sweat for half an hour a day. And
I mean, that's really all it fucking takes is half an hour to an hour. Like, just do something, you know. The one thing that I talk about in some of these videos and just in general is just like, do what you like and what you know that you're going to stick to. And sure, there are certain things that I think everyone should focus on, certain movement patterns, certain types of exercises. But like at the end of the day, so long as you're doing something, it's better than nothing. And the longer you stick to something, the healthier you're going to get. And the importance with this especially is that like exercise does help boost your immune system, and eating well does help boost your immune system. And like, there's a benefit to doing it right now because it might keep you alive,
Oh, absolutely. Like, people don't exercise, and it drives me crazy. I just get upset because, I don't know, you walk through the airport and everyone's just super big.
Fat.
Which is fine. I mean, live your life how you want to live it, but like, we're not talking about devoting 6 hours a day to exercise. You just do a little something. It helps. Well, that's all we've got. Thanks, Grant, for coming on, and we will catch you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. We got episode 101 coming this week. We'll be recording that on Thursday. Thanks to everyone that was there for episode 100. That was fantastic. We had such a good time. So check what's coming out this week. 101 should be here, Saturday morning. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys later. See ya.